Hi, my name is Hudson for those of you who are new here. If not, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be taking part in a tag. I originally saw this tag done by Hannah R. Palmer on YouTube back in April, I think. Alright, so the questions are here. Let's get into the tag. Question number 1, what is your Myers Briggs personality profile? I'm an intj-a, introverted, intuitive, thinking, judging, and assertive. Number 2, according to the 16 Personalities website, what are your strengths and weaknesses? I should mention that the third question is, do you feel like your type is accurate? If not, what did the profile get wrong? And I feel like it's just easier if I answer these two questions at once. So for strengths, it says I'm quick, imaginative, and strategic mind. Yes. High self-confidence. Also true. I would like to touch on something here. So when my mom came up to visit, I read them out loud to her, and she was like, they're not you, but at the same time they are you. It's just like anyone can be described as these things. And then when we read the summaries of them, that's when she was saying, oh my gosh, no, this is you. But that would take too long to read out loud. Some other strengths are independent and decisive. Yes. Hardworking and determined, and open-minded, jack of all trades. I think that's all very correct. I don't feel like I'm that hardworking, but it's not because I don't want to be. It's because I just physically can't. I am very open-minded, and I am a jack of all trades. Growing up, I don't know if this is my mom's doing. This is the whole nurture versus nature thing, you know? Because my mom signed me up for every sports class, every art class, like type of art class. I was part of the theater community from the ages of 5 to 19. Should I have been in that? No, but I was. And I learned every sport. I would say I'm average at a lot of things. And there are a few things that I am great in. I think this is why the whole sourdough thing really bothers me, because I'm failing at that. And I'm not used to that. But like things are very much a struggle. Man, this just sounds like a brag. Okay, let's get to the weaknesses so I don't sound too conceited. Oh my gosh. The first one on the weaknesses is arrogance. Yeah, I proved that. Judgmental. I judge people on things they can change. I'm very judgy. I try not to be because I don't like judgy people, but like if it's something that you can't change, then that doesn't bother me. But if you're complaining about something you can easily change, I'm like, over analytical. It says architects, so that's what INTJ is known as, an architect, may be highly critical and sometimes reach a high level of picky thoroughness when dealing with others. At that point, many people, with the exception of extremely loyal and understanding friends, are likely to flee, sometimes not to be seen again. Yes, I have had friends who told me multiple times that when they ask for my opinion, they don't want the truth. They want me to like make them feel better. And I'm just very confused because I would want the truth. Loathe highly structured environments. Yes, very much so. Clueless in romance. 100%. I would even push that further to say clueless in any sorts of relationships. I have a really hard time with human interaction. Number 4, how do you feel your personality affects your writing? I found this infographic about this exact topic on INTJs, so I'm going to read aloud from it. For writing environment, it says we need isolated areas with minimal distractions. Yes. Pre-writing and outlining may not naturally put their outline on paper, but they do plan extensively in their heads before writing. Detailed outlines before writing is very beneficial. Takes a systems approach rather than a linear one. Yes, very much so. Robert Jordan, whose books I have not read, he wrote Wheel of Time. It is on my book list to read. He's an INTJ and was once asked the question, how's your next book coming along? To which he responded, very much a work in progress with nothing at all on paper yet. And that is 100% me. First drafts may be the only draft they are willing to write, short and written quickly. Yes. Revisions. Hate revising and will avoid it at all costs. If you've been following this channel for a while, you would have seen how quickly I wrote my first draft and the slow teeth-pulling process of editing for the second one. Feedback. Receiving may cause writer's block. Harsh criticism may cause writer's block. So this one's a weird one because I do believe this was true in the beginning. It's that whole, once again, nurture versus nature thing. In my nature, yes. But through nurture, I've gotten over that. Like I said, I did theater from the ages of 5 to 19. And from doing that and being constantly criticized for areas I wasn't very confident in, it definitely gave me a thicker skin. Every time any of us got feedback, she would always say, no excuses, no buts, ifs, explanations, just do better. Just that's how you have to receive criticism. You have to take it, learn from it, and improve. Writing style, likely fiction or nonfiction about real-world problems, plot-driven novels. This is very true. Though I mainly write fantasy, it's very much mirrored off of real-world problems. My struggles are characterization, evoking emotion in readers, and portraying it in fiction. Impatient when it comes to revising, can be too technical when writing fiction. My strengths are plotting, logical consistency, writing about theories and ideas, and world building. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. What is that, sweetheart? Are you talking to me? Have you ever written a character with your personality type? If so, describe your character. Yes. In my high fantasy trilogy, one of the characters is an INTJ, mainly because INTJs are generally written to be villains in most stories. I do think it's a lazy form of writing, mainly because INTJs have a very hard time showing emotions, so they can come off as very, very evil. I mean, even like the good character INTJs are just, what's wrong with you? Like Mr. Darcy. So I'm trying to write them as like a very good character, and which I guess that sounds very vain because I am that, but I'm also trying to write my villain with a Myers Briggs type that is generally the good guy character. I do have a lot of emotion. I just don't think I show it as vividly as other people. I mean, the biggest feedback I get from Henry all the time is, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic, if you're angry, if you're upset, if you're happy, your voice just always sounds the same. I've been told I'm very deadpan. Do you struggle to write characters with different personality types? I think I struggle more with extroverts, but I think in general, from what I hear, extroverts are harder to write for people because they have a lot more of a jarring personality. You either agree with them or you don't, and it can really turn off a reader. Which is hard because you're just making them human. Yeah, I think I struggle the most with any extroverted type. What are your strategies for writing characters with different personality types? So I've never really believed in this for my personal gain, if you will. The only reason how I really got into Myers Briggs is that I do use them for all the characters in my stories, particularly POV characters. I create a profile for the character in which I watch a bunch of YouTube videos about that Myers Briggs type, and then I fill out my character's form using that, and then whenever I'm about to write a chapter for them, I then will read that first and then go in to write it, and generally it helps. What is your favorite type of character to write? I'm currently enjoying writing INFPs. Number 9, last question. What type of books do you like to read and write? What is especially appealing to you about them? Fantasy. And I know that earlier it said that fiction, even though world building is part of fantasy, and science fiction, so I feel like they include fantasy within fiction, which it is a subgenre. I'm getting off topic. And I would like to bring your attention to a famous Neil Gaiman quote. Fairy tales don't tell us that dragons are real. They tell us that dragons can be beaten. And that's how I approach fantasy, that's how I read fantasy, that's how I write fantasy. So yeah, this was the INTJ, this was the Myers Briggs tag. I'm an INTJ, that's the whole point of doing this quiz. As far as tagging other people, I mean, they're people I want to tag, and I also don't want people to feel excluded. So, and then I also don't want to tag someone and then they don't do it. So if you're watching this, you were tagged. Make this video if you so choose, obviously, like you're not forced. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.